everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so happy to have you here today. Today I'm going to show you how to make your very own stickers in Canva and make them kiss cut stickers. If you don't know what a kiss cut is, it means that your stickers stay on your backing. They're not cut through the back, so they are like a full sheet of stickers. All I did was peel the background off so that the stickers would stay here on our sheet. It's super easy to do. It's just a matter of knowing how to check your cut settings. And I'm going to go over all of that with you so that you can make sure that you make amazing stickers. But first, I'm going to show you how to gather these, make these completely free using Canva. So without further ado, let's head over there. But before we do, make sure that you're subscribed here on YouTube. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming.
The first thing you'll do is navigate to canva.com. Now you do not need to have a pro account for this. I'm going to use all free elements so that you can see how easy this is to do. It's so fun and so easy. You'll want to sign up for an account, but you can sign up for a free account. And what you're going to do first is you're going to go over to this create button over on the left-hand side, this little plus. Now you're going to be able to create a custom size, which is what I recommend for doing the stickers. So choose custom size, and I already have mine typed in, but I'll show you how to do this. First thing you're going to do is change your units from pixels, which is px, to in, which is inches. And I'm going to make this the size of our 8.5 by 11 paper, and I realized I just typed that wrong, but it's an 8.5 by 11 paper, so this is just like your standard size paper. Now if you're doing an A4 paper, absolutely change that. Do whatever you need to do to make this the size of the paper that you're going to be printing on. Then click Create New Design. Now you can close this box in Canva if it bothers you having too many tabs open. Totally can do that, because now that we're in this section, this is what we're going to be working with. Now, I do recommend using one of my free templates for this, which I will link in the video's description, or you can just go to CorinneBlackstone.com/PTC templates. Now, we're going to go ahead and what I want to use is the PNG file for this. So I'm going to drag this and drop this into Canva. Now, it's not going to be the correct size right away. You are going to have to adjust that, but that's just nature and how all of these programs work. You have to do the same thing in Design Space as well. What you'll do is go to Position, which is up at the very top of your screen, and you're going to see here that you have width, height, and this lock. You want to make sure that this lock is closed, so click on that, and then you can change the width over here, and you want to change it to match the 7.43 width. You'll see that's going to change the height to 9.92, which is close enough. It's 9.27, but that'll be close enough. We're going to keep our stickers within this area here of our PNG file, and that's going to allow us to make sure that this is going to fit really, really well in Design Space and not waste a lot of material. I'm going to go here to Elements. Now, in Elements, you can search for whatever you want to make. So let's make some space-themed stickers. So I'm just going to type in the word space, and I'm going to choose to hit the little arrow, and you'll see that you're going to get a bunch of options here. You should have like graphics, photos, videos. What we want is graphics, and I'm going to click See All. Now, I know a lot of you had a problem where you weren't able to filter these to free, and I've noticed that I'm having that issue as well. So let me show you how you can tell what images are included with your free options. You'll see, for example, with this little spaceman, although he's very, very cute, he has this little crown. And if it has the crown, it's a premium image and it's only included with the Canva Pro, which, like I said, we're not going to be using that. I want to show you that you can do this for free. So we're going to just ignore any of the ones that have the little crown next to it, and we're going to look for ones that are free images. So like this little guy, he has no crown, so he's free. Now what's cool is it brings up these magic recommendations, and I can click See All, and you'll see, look at this. I get all kinds of options, and most of these are not going to have that little crown, so you're going to be able to use quite a few of like these images. So if you find an image you like, I do recommend clicking on that little magic option, because it may bring up some other stickers that you like. Now I can go ahead and click the back arrow, and it'll take me back to this screen that has all of our little space designs, which I can then click through and choose whatever designs I want to make. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a couple of images to add to our page here. And then I'm going to show you how we set these up to cut with stickers for Cricut Design Space. So now that I have these all made the way I want them, I'm going to duplicate some of the designs so that we can fill up the area. You definitely don't need to do this if you don't want to make a ton of the stickers. If you just want a few, that's okay too. But for this, I do want to fill these in, and I am going to just kind of scooch some things around, duplicate some stickers, and just make a few so that we can fill the page. I hate to waste a bunch of space if I don't have to, and I'm sorry, but this cat is hysterical. I think he's so funny. Now, you do want to leave some space in between your stickers so that you can have some space for when they cut. You don't want them to be overlapping, and you don't want them to sit so close together that you're going to have a hard time getting them to cut. Now, if you've got some space where you could put like a small sticker, you can always size a sticker down and just make a little guy. Those are perfect for planners, or if you want to put them on an envelope or something, you can absolutely reduce the size of your stickers and cut out some smaller ones. So if I wanted to cut out like a little tiny astronaut, I could do that. I could make him a little bit smaller. Whatever the case may be, it's a super easy way to kind of fill in your sticker sheet. Now I could fit another one of him right here. So I think that looks pretty good. We need to make sure that our designs will fit, and that's why I used my template, but I am going to get rid of the template really quick. And I'm going to teach you a quick little trick because we do need to upload this into Cricut Design Space. So in order to do that, I'm going to change the color of my background. Now you want it to be a contrasting color, and I like to use like a darker gray. And the reason you want to use the contrasting color is so that you can still keep your offsets on your sticker. If you use white and you go to upload this into Cricut Design Space, Cricut is not going to be able to tell that there was any offsets here to begin with. So you're going to want to do that. You can use a little bit darker gray, whatever gray you really want. But this is how we're going to upload these into Design Space. Now I'm going to go to the share button and I'm going to choose download. Now you're going to be able to download this completely free using your PNG, which is what we want to do. So we're going to click download, and then we're going to allow this to get this all processed and ready to download. Now it's going to bring up a folder and ask me where I want to save this. So I'm going to save this into the folder for this project, which I haven't made. So I'm going to make it by right clicking, click folder. I'm going to call it Canva stickers, and I'm going to save the image. Now I'm going to save this as space stickers for Cricut and click save. Now let's head over to Cricut Design Space so we can upload these. Here in Cricut Design Space, we're going to choose New Project, and we are going to choose Blank Canvas, and then click Start Designing. You can close this panel where it brings up the images. We don't need it, and we can click the Upload button. You're going to choose Upload Image, and then you can browse for it or drag and drop your file. Once I'm in my Canva stickers folder, I'm going to select the space stickers for Canva. And you'll see here that it brings up our image. You can see that we've got our gray background and our stickers. What you're going to do here is click Continue. Now we need to remove this background from the image. So keeping with our doing it for free theme, we are not going to use this automatic background remover, which, if I'm being honest, doesn't work great. You're just simply going to click the gray area and remove it. Now, what you're going to see here, I'm going to go ahead and hide this, and you can see all of your shapes. I wanted to show you this because this is just kind of one of those like quick little here's what the shapes look like. But you can see here that you've got your white offset, you've got your images, and you're good to go. All you have to do from here is click Apply and Continue. Now with this, we want to save this here as the flat graphic. Flat graphic is used to cut out stickers. Go ahead and choose Flat Graphic and click Continue. From here, you can change the image name if you want to, add any tags, or put it in any of your collections, and then click Upload, and it's going to put it right into our canvas. Once you have them loaded here in Cricut Design Space, you are going to need to resize them. It's just the nature of the beast. We use the template just to make sure we can fit everything, but it's always going to load them a little bit larger here on Design Space. So you will need to size them down, and I want to show you really quick. You see this red exclamation point? That tells you need to resize them. So if you click on that, it's going to tell you your image is too large for the letter paper that we have detected, and that it's going to give you your max size. Now, I'm not going to auto resize because it doesn't really work well, but I also want to point out that it's going to tell you that these are low resolution images. You can honestly ignore that. With Cricut Design Space, they cannot detect certain images and certain resolutions, so it causes it to give you an error. So what I do, instead of it telling me how big I can make it, I will use my mouse and I will size it down slowly until the little red arrow thing goes away. And the reason I do it this way is because the Design Space, just when you resize it, it's not really completely accurate, I have found. Because you can see here, I got it at 6.84 by 9.03. Now again, you can see you still have that little error, but you can ignore that error. Now, before we go to do anything else, what I want to do is I'm going to save my design so that I have this. Now I'm going to save this again as Space Stickers, and I'm going to click Save. Once that has saved, we can go ahead and click the Make button, and it's going to bring up the screen that's going to show us how this is going to print. And you can see here that it fits within our printable area. Then you're going to click Continue, and this is where you're going to see a little bit more of some stuff. Then what you want to do is click Send to Printer, and this is where it's going to show you what your design will look like when it's printed out. And you can see that it shows you your registration marks and a little arrow, and that's the way you're going to put it into the machine. Next, you click the Next button, and you're going to make sure you have the correct printer selected. Then you choose how many copies of this design that you want. We'll just print one. Now with this design, because we have white offsets around our images, we do not need to use this add bleed option, so you can just turn it off or leave it on. It truly doesn't matter. And then I want to make sure that I do use my system dialog. What the system dialog does is that allows us to set some settings to make sure that our stickers are going to print out really, really well. So I'm going to click the print button, and this is not sending it to the printer right now, but it is going to bring up the system dialog, which is our printer preferences. So from here, what you do is I always check that it's got my correct printer selected. I use an Epson EcoTank. They don't make my model anymore, but I'll link the comparable model down below for you. And then you want to click on this word Preferences. Now, if for some reason you don't have these preferences and yours looks really different, what I want you to do is go to your manufacturer's website of the printer. So if you have an Epson, an HP, whatever it may be, and I want you to look for your drivers. You can usually just search the top little search bar, just search your printer model and the word drivers, and it will bring up the page where you can download those and reinstall them. That's a super important thing that you need to know when you're making any kind of project like this, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to be able to do these settings. So I always, again, check to make sure my document size is correct and that the orientation is set to portrait. I want to choose my paper type, and depending on what paper you're using will depend on the paper type that you choose. Typically, I use presentation paper matte or premium presentation paper matte, but again, it really depends on what product I'm using. Now, I am going to print this out using some regular sticker paper, which typically for me, presentation paper matte is fine. I'm going to change my quality from standard to high, and I want to make sure color is selected. Now, I do default my printer to black and white because I print a lot of other stuff, and I just don't want to accidentally print in color when I don't need to. So you want to make sure that that color is selected. From here, you're going to choose one more option. Under More Options, you want to turn off your high-speed print. Now, yours may also say bidirectional printing. If you've got some of the workforce printers, those will be a bidirectional. It's the same basic thing, so you want to turn that off. Once you have all that selected, simply click OK, and then you can click Print to send it to your printer.
I've got my sticker sheet printed out, but my goal is to die cut them, so I want to do some test cuts. I'll link the paper that I'm using down below, but what I did is I just put a star on to my canvas on Cricut, and then I'm just going to cut that star out. I'm starting with the iron-on setting because that setting works on another sticker paper that I have, so I thought I'd start with that one and see how well that one does, and then we'll kind of adjust the setting based on how that does. So all I'm going to do is hit go. This should cut really, really quickly, and then I always just have a pin pen on hand because I can just peel the star up like that if it looks like maybe it cut right. So it's just going to cut the star up in this corner. You can do it down here in the bottom corner if you want, but since I have to unload this anyways, because I'm going to reset it if that cut setting didn't work, this is totally fine. I'm going to unload, and first I can see that it did cut the star. I'm going to move the door out of the way, and then I'm going to peel the corner up over here to see if it cut through. It didn't cut through, but it definitely cut a little deep, so I don't think that setting's quite right. I think we want to reduce the setting a little bit, but it did a nice kiss cut around the star, but when I pulled the backing back, I can see the cut on the backing. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to a lesser setting, which has just a little less pressure. Next pressure I'm gonna try is the glitter vinyl setting, and that has a setting of 75, which is quite a bit lower, so we'll see how that one does on this. Okay, let's go ahead and check this setting and see if it cut through the sticker, which it did. It looks like it cut through the sticker really, really nicely. And then all I'm gonna do is, again, I'm gonna peel this back a little bit, and I see no cut on the back, so I think that the glitter vinyl setting is what we wanna use. And that's simply how you do some test cuts, especially for like sticker paper. It's really important to do. So let me load this on, get this sticker all loaded up on the Design Space canvas, and then we're gonna cut these out. Now when we load these in, you wanna make sure that that little arrow is up in the upper left corner. Your mat goes under both of the tabs. Go ahead and load this in. It's gonna read your lines, and then it's gonna cut around your stickers. Now, before I remove these from the mat, I am gonna check the cut, just because we don't trust Cricut, as we know. And I'll usually just grab a corner of like one of the stickers just to make sure it cut through, which it did. We'll go ahead and unload this. Now you can use a paper trimmer and all that to trim the edges off. I'm not gonna do that because I do wanna show you what we're gonna do. So let me scooch this out of the way. What I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna leave this on the mat really quick, and I'm just gonna grab the corner of the sticker paper, and I'm just gonna pull this away. Now you'll be able to see the stickers pretty well because the paper backing is much whiter than the paper itself. And we'll just pull this. It looks like it didn't cut that star great. It looks like it just missed a little corner. That'll happen from time to time. And you do want to be a little careful around like the sharper edges of your stickers, just because the Cricut does struggle with that a little bit, but that's okay. We can make this work. And then I'm just gonna peel this off. I'm gonna go ahead and I want to give this star a little more attention because it keeps getting stuck right on that edge. There we go. And look at that. You have stickers that you made with Canva. Let me get you a closer look.
And here are the finished stickers. Remembering that kiss cut means they're not going to come off your sticker backing. It's all going to be one single piece. I hope you picked up some tips and tricks to doing this and some tips and tricks to doing your test cuts. Test cuts are always important, especially when you're starting with a new material. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Be sure you're subscribed here on YouTube. I'd love to have you as part of my crafty family. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy crafting.